I wanted to take you on a tour of your attic and just highlight a few of the things that I saw. I also like to show you a few things we like to do around the attic so you get a good understanding. And the first thing is the pull down zip cover. The big thing here is that it zips open and that little pouch there, has a piece of insulation in it to keep everything buttoned up nice and tight. One of the things I like to do when I go into the attic is I like to just take a good look at the ducts and the duct connections. The ducts, relative to other systems I've seen, are well organized, and overall the connections seem pretty good. Down towards the end of the video, there is one connection that I found that was a problem. Supply boot air sealing is a really big opportunity. All those cuts in the drywall. This is an example. We just want to use those cans of foam. We want to get around all of those cracks and crevices and just disconnect the inside of the house from the attic. And to take that a step further, this is me insulating or air sealing, I should say, a top plate. You can see how I shot a little foam in the electrical hole, and that's because those wires run down the wall as seen here to the switch, and we just want to make sure we again disconnect the attic from the house. This is the check on the insulation level. A couple different measuring sticks around your attic. 13 inches in this spot, 36 is the R value there, but over not too far from there, which is just showing the inconsistency in the levels. You've got 7 inches, and that's going to clock in at an R value of 19. Big find here, and you've got a few of these around the attic floor, and I tried to show you each one. You've got large openings called chaseways for the chimneys in the different fireplaces. And this one is the one that's right over the master bedroom. And you can see that the problem is virtually invisible until I start to peel things back a little. And you can see that you've got a large gap there. Insulation does not stop the flow of air. And that discolored insulation that's in my hand there is a telltale sign that air is flowing through that space. But we just need to make sure that we cover that area properly and seal it. And this is a recent project that I did with a similar type of fireplace, similar year in terms of the build. And you can see how we use that flexible metal. We create a dam so the insulation doesn't fall into that area. We use the sheet metal to cover the area, and then we use the fire block foam to seal everything up so that you don't have basically a gateway for air to pass through your house and into the attic. Baffles are important. These are your baffles, and they're not in terrible shape. That's a unique part of the house, that part there that I showed, but I just want you to see what the purpose of the baffles are. This is a house we recently did where we blew the insulation in, and you can just see that it's underneath the baffle so that that pathway is maintained down to the eave or the soffit area. Recess lights, you've got several of them. We know they're problematic. You can tell here the discolored insulation once again. And what do? We just cover these guys up. We seal them. We make sure we create a boundary around them so the insulation isn't all caught up in it. And we just air seal it with the box and the foam. Moving along here, the next thing I wanted to point out, this is a knee wall. This is one that's adjacent to your master bedroom, created by the unique bump out ceiling that you have. And there's another one over near the garage, but I just want to show you what we do with the knee walls. We just want to make sure we put some type of sheathing so that that insulation stays in contact with the wall. There's a few spots where you're going to see here that the insulation in your house is pulled away, gravity, and we just want to make sure we don't give it an opportunity to do that. This is that area I was referring to over the garage. You can see the insulation there. And because of the unique construction style, you got a lot of gaps and just areas for air to flow that we want to make sure we block off and we seal those. I believe that was leading down into possibly the closet of the bedroom that's adjacent to the gym. And there's another a fireplace chimney, and you can see another large gap there. So here in a couple seconds, I'm going to show you what it looks like when we seal those off. But if you jump over, and I don't want to jump around too much on you, but we jump over to the other fireplace, and again, there's another large chase or gap there. And these are all big opportunities for you, Jesse. They're not for me to point out to scare you. It's because these are great opportunities to block them, seal them, and this is what something like that looks like. I always joke here that when I show this clip that this my job is great because I don't have to. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just needs to be effective. And you can see that we're just going to get the job done. We're going to use foam. We're going to use foam board, and we're going to block all those larger gaps and areas just to, again, create a plane and then add insulation on top. I mentioned early on, and this is the last part of the video here, there's a disconnected duct in your attic. I don't think it's terrible, but there is definitely a gateway there. It does appear as though it was maybe a mistake or, it was forgotten. I can't be sure. We probably need to investigate the exact location of where the supply boot is, and we're going to look at that in a second. But you can see that the duct was kind of scrunched up like somebody knew that they were going to close it, but it still was open. I was able to put my fist in there, and I just want to put your mind at ease that before I left that area, I did close it and scrunch it up really good for you, but still, I think we want to get in there and use some type of foam to block it off or figure out where it possibly goes. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, when you see here, I kind of pull. I wanted to make sure looked like it was terminating in the house or supplying, or there was a boot there to the house, but you can also see there's some kind of a recess light, I think that is right next to it. So maybe with that information, you can kind of figure out where that is. You could turn your blower on and see if there's air coming out of it. Thanks for watching, Jesse. Hope this is helpful. I'll get your reports to you ASAP.